ഹലോ, ഞാൻ റിജോസിൻ്റെ യൂട്യൂബ് ചാനലിലേക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും സ്വാഗതം. അപ്പം നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത് The.person CCT മാനുവൽ 2024 എന്ന ഈ ബുക്കിനെ കുറിച്ചുള്ള വീഡിയോസ്. അപ്പം നമ്മൾ ഫസ്റ്റ് തന്നെ പറയുന്നത് ഈ ബുക്കിലെ പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട കാര്യം സിലബസ്, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ നമ്മുടെ വീഡിയോ റിലേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട കാര്യങ്ങളെല്ലാം ഡിസ്ക്രിപ്ഷൻ ബോക്സിൽ കൊടുക്കും. അപ്പം ദയവ് ഇത് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്ത് നോക്കണം. ലാസ്റ്റ് ഭാഗത്ത് നമ്മൾ ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി പറയും. അപ്പം നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ക്ലാസ് എടുത്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത് വിഭാഗം CSCT പേപ്പർ 1 ജനറൽ സ്റ്റഡീസിൽ 10 ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ബാങ്കിൽ ഇക്കോളജി ആൻഡ് ബയോഡൈവേഴ്സിറ്റിയിൽ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ബാങ്കാണ് നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. അതിൽ കഴിഞ്ഞ വീഡിയോയിൽ പറഞ്ഞ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആൻസേഴ്സ് നമുക്ക് ഈ വീഡിയോയിൽ ജസ്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് കാണിക്കാണ്. 920, 921, 922, 923, 924, 925. ഇത്രയാണ് നമ്മൾ ഇത്രയൊന്നുമല്ല, ഇതിൽ കൂടുതൽ നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞു, കുറച്ച് മാത്രമേ നമ്മളിവിടെ പറയുന്നുള്ളൂ. ഇത്ര നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞു. ഇപ്പം ഇനി ഈ വീഡിയോയിൽ പറയാനുള്ളത് 926 മുതലാണ് നമുക്ക് ഈ വീഡിയോയിൽ പറയാനുള്ളത്. അപ്പം അതിന് മുന്നേ എനിക്ക് നിങ്ങളോടൊരു പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ഒരു കാര്യം പറയണമെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, നമ്മൾ ഈ വിഭാഗത്തിൽ പറയുമ്പോൾ സ്പെല്ലിംഗ് മിസ്റ്റേക്ക് വരാൻ സാധ്യതയുണ്ട്. കാരണം ഇത് നല്ല ഹൈ സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ആൻസേഴ്സ് ഒക്കെയാണ്. ചിലപ്പോൾ നോർമൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ആൻസേഴ്സ് ഉണ്ടാവാം. എന്തായാലും അത്യാവശ്യം നല്ല ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ആൻസേഴ്സ് ആണെന്ന് തന്നെ നമുക്ക് പറയാം. അപ്പം അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ എടുത്തു പറയത്തക്ക ഒരു കാര്യം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ സ്പെല്ലിംഗ് മിസ്റ്റേക്ക്, പിന്നെ നമ്പേഴ്സിൽ തെറ്റ് വരാം. പിന്നെ ഈ ടിക്ക് ചെയ്തേക്കണതും ഞാൻ എടുത്തു പറയണം, ചിലപ്പോൾ തെറ്റ് വരാം, പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അപ്പം അതുകൊണ്ട് അഡ്വാൻസിലായിട്ട് ഞാൻ ക്ഷമ ചോദിക്കണം. ഒത്തിരി പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട കാര്യം ആയതുകൊണ്ടാണ് റിപ്പീറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് നമ്മൾ പറയുന്നത്. അപ്പം നമുക്കിനി ക്ലാസ്സിലേക്ക് പോകാം. 926. ആഫ്റ്റർ ന്യൂട്രിയന്റ് എൻറിച്ച്മെന്റ് ഫ്രം സീവേജ് contamination, a lake often becomes inhospitable to fish. Why? A nutrient input to a lake causes the explosive growth of algal and cyanobacterial populations. This reduces the penetration of light into the lake. The water temperature falls and eventually the fish population dies. B nutrient input to a lake poisons the fish. C nutrient input to a lake causes the explosive growth of algal and cyanobacteria populations. Decomposition of dead algae and cyanobacteria by bacteria result in the depletion of oxygen in the water, which leads to the death of fish. D nutrient input to a lake poisons the organisms that fish eat. Answer C nutrient input to a lake causes the explosive growth of algal and cyanobacterial populations. Decomposition of dead algae and cyanobacteria by bacteria result in the depletion of oxygen in the water, which leads to the death of fish. അടുത്തത് 927. Plankton consists of dash. A algae, cyanobacteria and animals that drift near the surfaces of oceans only. B photosynthetic organisms that drift near the surfaces of aquatic biomes. C algae, cyanobacteria and animals that belongs to the benthic communities of oceans, lakes, ponds, rivers and streams. D algae, cyanobacteria and animals that drift near the surface of oceans, lakes, ponds, rivers and streams. Answer D algae, cyanobacteria and animals that drift near the surface of oceans, lakes, ponds, rivers and streams. അടുത്തത് 928. Which one of the following is characteristics of oligotrophic lakes? A seasonal O2 depletion. B summer turnover. C frequent algal blooms. D few littoral plants and a low density of phytoplankton. D few littoral plants and a low density of phytoplankton. Answer D few littoral plants and a low density of phytoplankton. Artha 929. Rooted plants are found only in the dash zones of a lake, a pelagic, B thermocoline, C limnitic, D littoral. Answer C limnitic. Answer C limnitic. Spelling mistake ne daive ക്ഷമിക്കുക. അടുത്തത് 930. Below the photic zone of the ocean dash, A phytoplankton outnumber zooplankton, B plants are rooted in the sandy bottom, C food chains are detritus based, D primarily produces capture the sun's energy which is then passed up the energy pyramid. Answer C food chains are detritus based. Answer C food chains are detritus based. Artha 931. Different species that inhabit the same type of biome but occur in widely separated geographic regions often appear similar due to dash, A their close evolutionary relationships, B convergent evaluation, C the occurrence of the same set of species within a biome wherever it is found, D recent common ancestry. Answer B convergent evaluation. Answer B convergent evaluation. അടുത്തത് 932. Permafrost is characteristic of the dash, A tundra, B temperate forest, C taiga, D desert. Answer A tundra. 933. Which biome is the largest terrestrial biome on earth? A temperate broadleaf forest, B coniferous forest, C savanna, D desert. Answer B coniferous forest. Answer B coniferous forest. അടുത്തത് 934. Which statement comparing trophic rainforest and temperate broadleaf forest is incorrect? A both types of forest may be found in mid latitudes of the southern hemisphere. B both have distinct vertical layers. C both have an enclosed canopy. D both can claim epiphytes as a common plant type. Answer D both can claim epiphytes as a common plant type. അടുത്തത് 935. Of these biomes, vertical stratification layers of plants is most pronounced in the of these biomes, vertical stratification layers of plants is most pronounced in the A grassland, B tundra, C desert, D tropical rainforest. Answer D tropical rainforest. 936. Which choice below describes a feature of grassland and explains why its remnants are concentrated in arid regions of North America and Central Asia? A grassland is often consumed by fire. B the soil is fertile and most grassland has been converted to farmland. C large grazers such as bison and wild horses have depleted grassland. D woody shrubs and trees have taken over in areas that receive more precipitation. Answer B the soil is fertile and most grassland has been converted to farmland. Answer B the soil is fertile and most grassland has been converted to farmland. അടുത്തത് 937. In which one of the following biomes would you expect decomposers to work most rapidly and efficiently? A tundra, B savanna, C desert, D tropical rainforest. Answer D tropical rainforest. 938. Bees can see colors we cannot see and they can detect minute amounts of chemicals we cannot sense. Unlike many insects, bees cannot hear very well. An ethologist would probably give which of the following as a ultimate explanation for their poor hearing? A. Bees are too small to have functional ears. B. Hearing may not contribute much to a bee's reproductive success. C. If a bee could hear, its a tiny brain would be swarmed with information. D. This is an example of altruism. D. This is an example of altruism. Spelling mistake ഉണ്ട്, ദയവ് ക്ഷമിക്കുക. ആൻസർ ബി. ഹിയറിംഗ് may not contribute much to the bee's reproductive success. Answer B. Hearing may not contribute much to the bee's reproductive success. ഒന്നുകൂടി വായിക്കുന്നത് 938. Bees can see colors we cannot see, and they can detect minute amounts of chemicals we cannot sense. Unlike many insects, bees cannot hear very well. And ethologist would probably give which of the following as the ultimate explanation for their poor hearing? A. Bees are too small to have functional ears. B. Hearing may not contribute much to a bee's reproductive success. C. If a bee could hear, its tiny brain would be swarmed with the information. D. This is an example of altruism. Answer B. Hearing may not contribute much to a bee's reproductive success. അടുത്തത് 939. A learning process that can occur only during a limited period of the individual's development is called dash. A. Instinct. B. Conditioning. C. Imprinting. D. Prenatal influence. Answer C. Imprinting. അടുത്ത 940. A frog may at first be startled by tree branches swaying in the wind, but it soon stops responding to these kinds of unimportant changes in its environment. The lack of response is an example of dash. A fixed action pattern. B. Imprinting. C. Altruism. D. Habituation. Answer D. Habituation. അടുത്തത് 941. Every morning a graduate student turns on the light in the laboratory and then feeds the fish in the aquarium. After a couple of weeks of this routine, the graduate student noticed that the fish came to the surface to feed as soon as the lights were turned on. The behavior of the fish is a result of dash. A. Habituation. B. Positive phototaxis. C. Imprinting. D. Classical conditioning. Answer D. Classical conditioning. അടുത്തത് 942. The key idea of sociobiology is that dash. A. Human social behavior is the same as animal social behavior. B. Social behavior has an evolutionary basis. C. Little behavior is inherited. Most is learned in social situations. D. Almost all human and animal behavior is pre-programmed. Answer B. Social behavior has an evolutionary basis. അടുത്ത 943. Pheasants do not feed their chicks immediately after hatching. A pheasant chick starts pecking at seeds and insects on the ground. How might be behavior ecologists explain the ultimate cause of this behavior? A. Pecking is a fixed action pattern, bracket FAP. B. Pheasants learn to pick and their offspring inherited this behavior. C. Pheasants that picked survived and reproduced best. D. Pecking is the result of imprinting during a critical period. Answer C. Answer C. Peasants that peaked survived and reproduced best. അടുത്തത് 944. Ants carry dead ants out of an anthill and dump them on a trash pile. If a chemical from a dead ant is applied to a leaf, other ants will carry it, kicking and struggling from the anthill until the substance wears off. Which of the following explains this behavior? A. The chemical is a sign stimulus for a fixed action pattern. B. The ants have become imprinted on the chemical. C. The ants continue the behavior until they become habituated. D. The ants can only learn by operant conditioning. Answer A. The chemical is a sign stimulus for a fixed action pattern. അടുത്ത 945. What signals must be best employed by a nocturnal forest animal seeking to identify its territory? A. Visual and olfactory. B. Auditory and olfactory. C. Tactile and olfactory. D. Visual and auditory. Answer B. Auditory and olfactory. Answer B. Auditory and olfactory. നമ്മൾ ഇത്രയും പറഞ്ഞതിൽ സ്പെല്ലിംഗ് മിസ്റ്റേക്ക് വരാൻ സാധ്യതയുണ്ട്, ദയവേത് ക്ഷമിക്കണം. ഇത്തിരി ടഫ് വേർഡ്സ് ഒക്കെ വന്നിരുന്നു നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞതിലൊക്കെ. അടുത്ത 946. Pheromones are example of dash. A. Hormones. B. Chemical signals. C. Visual signals. D. Instinctive behavior. Answer B. Chemical signals. Pheromones are example of dash. A. Hormones. B. Chemical signals. C. Visual signals. D. Instinctive behavior. Answer B. Chemical signals. 947. One way to determine whether or not food preferences have a genetic basis is to A. Compare food preference of two different wild populations. B. Give animals from two different populations the same food and see if they eat it. C. Rear the offspring of animals from two different populations with different food preferences under identical conditions in the lab and see whether or not their food preferences reflect parental ones. D. Bring animals from two populations into the lab and observe whether they have different food preferences. Answer C. Answer C. Rear the offspring of animals from two different populations with different food preferences under identical conditions in the lab and see whether or not their food preferences reflect parental ones. ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി പറയാണ് 947. One way to determine whether or not food preferences have a genetic basis is to A. Compare food preference of two different wild populations. B. Give animals from two different populations the same food and see if they eat it. C. Rear the offspring of animals from two different populations with different food preferences under identical conditions in the lab and see whether or not their food preferences reflect parental ones. D. Bring animals from two populations into the lab and observe whether they have different food preferences. Answer C. rear the offspring of animals from two different populations with different food preferences under identical conditions in the lab and see whether or not their food preferences reflect parental ones. Answer C. Rear the offspring of animals from two different populations with different food preferences under identical conditions in the lab and see whether or not their food preferences reflect parental ones. ഇവിടെ ക്യാമറയുടെ ക്ലാരിറ്റി പോകുന്നുണ്ട് ചില സമയത്ത്, ദയവായി ക്ഷമിക്കുക. നമ്മുടെ ഭാഗത്തുനിന്ന് ഒരു തെറ്റ് വരരുത്, അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് നമ്മളിതൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞു പോകുന്നത്. ദയവായിട്ട് മനസ്സിലാക്കാം. നമുക്ക് അടുത്ത പറയാം 948. To determine the density of a rabbit population, you would need to know the number of rabbits and dash. A. The factors that limit population growth. B. Their birth rate. C. The size of the area in which they live. D. Their population growth rate. Answer C. The size of the area in which they live. അടുത്തത് 949. The number of individuals that a particular habitat can support with no degradation of the habitat is called dash. A. Biotic potential. B. Survivorship. C. Nike. D. Carrying capacity. Answer D. Carrying capacity. Are the 950. Which one of the following is regarded as a density independent factor in the growth of natural populations? A. Intra-specific competition. B. Inter-specific competition. C. Immigration. D. Flooding. Answer D. Flooding. Artha 951. A broad-based pyramid-shaped age structure is characteristic of a population that is A. Growing rapidly. B. At carrying capacity. C. Stable. D. Limited by density dependent factors. Answer A. Growing rapidly. അടുത്തത് 952. Which statement regarding human population growth is not true? A. Human population growth was exponential until about 1650. B. The human population reached 4 billion in 1975. It is expected to double by about 2025. ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി പറയണം. Which statement regarding human population growth is not true? A. Human population growth was exponential until about 1650. B. The human population reached 4 billion in 1975. It is expected to double by about 2025. C. The rate of population growth has slowed since about the 1960s. D. Changes in population dynamics due to disease and voluntary population control have slowed the rate of human population growth. Answer A. Human population growth was exponential until about 1650. 952 ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി പറയാം. Which statement regarding human population growth is not true? A. Human population growth was exponential until about 1650. B. The human population reached 4 billion in 1975. It is expected to double by about 2025. C. The rate of population growth has slowed since about the 1960s. D. Changes in population dynamics due to disease and voluntary population control have slowed the rate of human population growth. A. Human population growth was exponential until about 1650. Artha 953. To calculate the human population density of your community, you would need to know the number of people living there and dash. A. The size of the area in which they live. B. The birth rate of the population. C. Whether population growth is logistic or exponential. D. The dispersion pattern of the population. Answer A. The size of the area in which they live. അടുത്തത് 954. When needed resources are unevenly distributed, organisms often show a dash dispersion pattern. A. Density dependent. B. Clumped. C. Exponential. D. Random. Answer B. Clumped. 955. A demographer may study dash. A. Birth rates in a small town in a lova. B. Emigration rates in a forest that has been cleared partially for farming. C. Offspring mortality rates in humpback whales. D. All of the above. Answer D. All of the above. 956. Chimpanzees have a relatively low birth rate. They care for their young, and most chimps live in a long life. The chimp survivorship curve would look like dash. A line that slopes gradually upward. B. A relatively flat line that drops steeply at the end. C. A line that drops steeply at first, then flattens out. D. A line that slopes gradually downward. Answer B. A relatively flat line that drops steeply at the end. Answer B. A relatively flat line that drops steeply at the end. അടുത്ത 957. What are three basic issues that life histories entail? A. When reproduction begins, how often the organism breeds, and how many offspring from each reproductive episode survive to also reproduce. B. Whether or not reproduction is a conscious decision, how often the organism breeds, and how many offspring are produced during each reproductive episode. C. When reproduction begins, level of parental care, and how many offsprings are produced during each reproductive episode. D. When reproduction begins, how often the organism breeds, and how many offspring are produced during each reproductive episode. Answer D. When reproduction begins, how often the organism breeds, and how many offspring are produced during each reproductive episode. അടുത്ത 958. When the per capita birth rate equals the per capita death rate dash. A. Population grows rapidly. B. The size of a population remains constant. C. Density dependent limiting factors do not affect the population. D. A population is in danger of extinction. Answer B. The size of a population remains constant. അടുത്തത് 959. A population will always grow exponentially dash. A. If it is limited only by density dependent factors. B. Until it reaches carrying capacity. C. If there are no limiting factors. D. If it is a population with an equilibrium life history. Answer C. If there are no limiting factors. അടുത്തത് 960. A newly mated queen and ant founds a nest in an unoccupied patch of a suitable habitat. Assuming that no disasters strike the nest, which one of the following types of equations is likely to best describe the population growth of the new colony? A. Linear. B. Circular. C. Logistic. D. Quadratic. Answer C. Logistic. അടുത്ത 961. Which one of the following would most likely be an example of a density independent factor limiting population growth? A. Food availability. B. Diseases. C. Accumulation of toxic wastes. D. Daily temperature extremes. Answer D. Daily temperature extremes. അടുത്ത 962. According to the principle of competitive exclusion. Two species cannot continue to occupy the same dash. A. Environmental habitat. B. Ecological like. C. Territory. D. Range. Answer B. Ecological like. That's 963. Cellulose digesting microorganisms live in the guts of termites and ruminant mammals. The microorganisms have a home and food, while their hosts gain more nutrition from their meals. This relationship is an example of dash. A. Mutualism. B. Parasitism. C. Herbivory. D. Commensalism. Answer A. Mutualism. Answer A. Mutualism. അടുത്തത് 964. An organism trophic level refers to dash. A. The rate at which it uses energy. B. Where it lives. C. Its food source. D. Whether it is early or late in ecological succession. Answer C. Its food source. At 965. Keystone species are those species dash. A. Whose absence would cause major disruption in an ecosystem. B. That live primarily on or under rocks and stones. C. That have provided key foods and medicines. D. With the largest number of individuals in an ecosystem. Answer A. Whose absence would cause major disruption in an ecosystem. 966. Which of the following best illustrates ecological succession? Which of the following best illustrates ecological succession? A. A mouse eats seeds and an owl eats the mouse. B. Decomposition in soil releases nitrogen that plants can use. C. Grass grows on a sand dune followed by shrubs and then trees. D. Imported pheasants while local quail disappear. D. Imported pheasants increase while local quail disappear. Answer C. Grass grows on a sand dune followed by shrubs and then trees. 967. The Nike of an animal is dash. A. The number of individuals of the species the environment will support. B. The same as its habitat. C. The way the animal fits into its environment. D. Its den or nest. Answer C. The way the animal fits into its environment. അടുത്തത് 968. When goats were introduced to an island of the California coast, the goats inhabited the same areas and ate the same plants as the native deer. The deer population dwindled and finally disappeared. This is an example of dash. A. Commensalism. B. Succession. C. A food chain. D. Competitive exclusion. Answer D. Competitive exclusion. സ്പെല്ലിംഗ് മിസ്റ്റേക്കിന് ദയവായി ക്ഷമിക്കുക. അടുത്തത് 969. Flounder is a type of fish that looks like the sea floor. This is an example of dash. A. Mullerian mimicry. B. Warning coloration. C. Character displacement. D. Cryptic coloration. Answer D. Cryptic coloration. സ്പെല്ലിംഗ് മിസ്റ്റേക്കിന് ദയവായി ക്ഷമിക്കുക. ചില വേർഡ്സൊക്കെ പ്രത്യേക തരത്തിലുള്ള വേർഡ്സാണ്. നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ഈ വായിച്ചു പോകുന്നതെല്ലാം ചിലതൊക്കെ. 970. A leech that attaches itself to swimmer is an example of a dash. A. Prey. B. Parasitoid. C. Endoparasite. D. Ectoparasite. Answer D. Ectoparasite. അടുത്തത് 971. The relationship between species A and species B is described as commensalism. This means that dash A. Both species suffer. B. One species benefits and the other species suffer. C. One species benefits and the other species is unaffected. D. Both species benefited. Answer C. One species benefits and the other species is unaffected. Question 72. What is the key difference between a dominant species and a keystone species? A. There is no difference. The two terms are synonymous. A. There is no difference. The two terms are synonymous. B. Dominant species alter the structure or dynamics of the environment. Keystone species are the most abundant. C. Dominant species are the most abundant. Keystone species exert control through important roles or nights. D. The removal of a dominant species from a community has more impact than removing a keystone species. And answer C. Dominant species are the most abundant. Keystone species exert control through important roles or nights. Answer C. Dominant species are the most abundant. Keystone species exert control through important roles or nights. 73. The current view of biological communities is dash. A. That they eventually reach a state of equilibrium. B. That disturbance and non-equilibrium are the norm. C. That they maintain a relatively constant composition of species. D. That the effect of disturbance is unusually negative. D. That the effect of disturbances is usually negative. Answer B. That disturbance and non-equilibrium are the norm. 74. When equilibrium is reached on an island dash. A. The number of organisms does not change. B. Ecological disturbance is minimized. C. The rate of species immigration will equal the rate of species extinction. D. The food web will be highly stable. Answer C. The rate of species immigration will equal the rate of species extinction. Answer C. The rate of species immigration will equal the rate of species extinction. അടുത്തത് 75. Dash views a community as the chance assemblage of organisms with similar abiotic needs. A. The Nike concept. B. The individualistic hypothesis. C. Special richness. D. Commensalism. Answer B. The individualistic hypothesis. Answer B. The individualistic hypothesis. ഈ വിഭാഗത്തൊക്കെ ചിലയിടത്തൊക്കെ സ്പെല്ലിംഗ് മിസ്റ്റേക്ക് ഉണ്ട്. ദയവാതെ ക്ഷമിക്കുക. അടുത്ത 76. Which theory below suggests that reducing or increasing the abundance of one species in a community affects many other species? A. Integrated hypothesis. B. Individualistic hypothesis. C. Rivet model. D. Redundancy model. Answer C. Rivet model. 77. The energy for a nearly every organism in nearly every ecosystem ultimately comes from dash. A. Minerals in the soil. B. The sun. C. Heat from earth. D. Respiration. Answer B. The sun. At 78. Under which of the following circumstances would interspecific competition be most obvious? A. When resources are most abundant. B. In the presence of a keystone species. C. When organisms have quite different ecological needs. D. When a non-negative organism is introduced into a community. Answer D. When a non-native organism is introduced to a community. 79. Consider this segment of a food web. Snails and grasshoppers eat paper plants. Spiders eat grasshoppers. Shrews eat nails and spiders. Owls eat shrews. The shrew occupies the trophic levels of dash. A. Primary consumer. B. Secondary consumer. C. Territory consumer. D. Secondary and tertiary consumers. Answer D. Secondary and tertiary consumers.